I want my husband to be president because he is my candidate, and he's my candidate not just because he's my husband. He's the man who stands for and would give the leadership to this country that I want to see for my family, for my grandchildren, for my country. I have done this campaigning alone without my husband, along with other wives of candidates since 1954. So it's been quite some time, and I should be used to it by now, but each one is a little more difficult. The whole scope of running for this high office tends to be completely different. And as you can see, I have opened it up to anybody and anything asking me any questions at every city that I go to. I think the woman's vote in every state is terribly important, and I intend to campaign as much as I possibly can. I think that every bit of legislation and at every level of politics is tremendously important from a family standpoint. Women voters should find out how a candidate feels about the things that are closest to her family, education and health and the welfare of that family. The more that are involved, the better. Actually, we became involved very young. My husband was campaigning in South Dakota when I went with him. I wasn't as involved as he was, and then he became one of the youngest mayors in the nation when he became mayor of Minneapolis in 1945. On the record, actually, of Hubert Humphrey as a mayor of Minneapolis in a really tough time. We had lots of problems, and he has worked with city problems. He established a tremendously good record, a national record, received awards for the work that he did as mayor of Minneapolis when he was a young man. And then the 16 years that he served in the Senate, and the legislation was not only started and the ideas that were his, but that he gave enough leadership to that it became the law of the land, are things that I take great pride in, particularly the Head Start program and many of the other OEO programs, the Job Corps centers, the Youth Corps groups, the VISTA, Peace Corps. The Peace Corps was his idea. I think he's done, there's been more done in the field of education, for instance, in these past 3.5 years than there's ever been done in the 100 years before that. So that I take great pride in what we've done. It's not hard to campaign for Humphrey.
Mr. Douglas Fairbanks.
Almost everyone would like to see peace in Vietnam. And almost everyone wants continued progress and prosperity at home. Still, one candidate for president would turn the clocks back, and another would stop the hands where they are. Only Hubert Humphrey, it seems to me, wants them to move steadily forward. I believe that among the candidates, Hubert Humphrey has the only consistently progressive record in government and the more reliable and mature temperament. But debate, the essence of democracy, is denied him, and his voice is being drowned by the vast sums spent by his opponent. You can help by sending contributions, large or small, to this address, so that we may purchase time for televised debate. If Mr. Nixon goes on refusing debate, we will use the money to carry Hubert Humphrey's message to the American people. Thank you.
The preceding recorded broadcast was furnished and paid for by Citizens for Humphrey Muskie on behalf of the candidacy of Hubert H. Humphrey for the office of President of the United States.